6, Sactown Sports.
When we talked to our next guest last week about the 49ers-Bears game, did he guarantee a 49er win? He said he thought they'd probably win, and you know what? That's pretty good this year. That's pretty good the way they've been playing this year. Rod Brooks, of course, 49er pre- and post-game host, NBC Sports Bay Area. Yeah, they got it done against the Bears, Rod. I thought a lot of that was because the Bears played that zone defense that the 49ers haven't seen all year, and they tore it up.
Hey, I ain't going to lie. That was the softest guarantee in history, wasn't it? I was like, yeah, they might win, but hey, you know when somebody's voice go really high? That's when you know they're faking the funk, right? But, you know, it's funny. I was saying to somebody a few days ago that two things can be equally true. The Niners played good football, played the way that they needed to play, obviously, the way that they're capable of playing. They started fast. Offensively, the defense followed right behind them with 3 and outs, you know, with sacks on 3 and outs, getting the offense the ball back. Offense go down and score. You know, that's Niner football. It's complementary football. It's what everybody wants to do. So the Niners played the way that they supposed to. And the Bears bared that game up. You know, the Bears are not very good. I thought maybe they'd be able to do a little something offensively. But, you know, just the way, again, the Niners started offensively and defensively, blunted anything they wanted to do offensively. You know, and I think I said to you guys last week that Caleb Williams runs into a lot of sacks, and he did that. He was sacked 6-7 times, whatever it was. But the Bears defensively, I mean, I think secret, but everybody knows that you play zone against Brock Purdy, he's going to eat you up. And why they did that is why the Bears are the Bears, and they're going to be looking for another head coach.
I mean, we knew that all season long. We've been talking about that, right? And so let me ask you this, though, Rod. When you look at what Brock was able to do, I'm looking at his weapons. Are Kittle and Juwan his top targets? Like, has the Deebo situation, has he lost some of his luster, if you will? Is he a role player, I guess, on this team now?
Well, let me start in order to answer your question. Yeah, man, it's Juwan Jennings and is George Kittle. Where would they be without those two guys? Yeah. They'd be in more trouble than they're in right now. And they're still in a very tricky situation. So, you know, credit to Juwan Jennings for what he has turned himself into, because you know how it is, because it's kind of this way in basketball. When a star goes down, and in this case, Brandon Ayuk is the star I'm referencing, although I'm switching sports here. When the star goes down, the next guy all of a sudden becomes the star, and then what happens? His name is at the top of the scouting report, right? And then he becomes the one, all the focus is on him, and that player, for whatever reason, whether it's how he's defended or whether he's not up to the task, he doesn't fill the role of that one. Well, Juwan Jennings, you know, you lose Brandon Ayuk, he is the de facto number one receiver, and he turns into a legit number one receiver for this team. So credit to him. George Kittle, the crazy thing about him is that dude is at his core an inline run blocking tight end. And think about the difference he makes when he's not in there with their run game. How their run game almost falls apart if he's not in there blocking. We saw that in the Green Bay game. What he's able to do for them pass catching wise, especially in the red zone, has been unbelievable. Now to the Deebo thing. Hey, you know, no, because hey, man, listen, everybody, he is beloved by his teammates. So that, you know, that fit of social media anger he had earlier this week. You know, nobody's tripping off of that, man. You know, that's something for us to talk about in the media. That's something for fans to talk about. Clearly, he's frustrated with, I don't think he's frustrated with his diminished role. I think he's frustrated with the fact that he ain't the dude that he used to be. And this happens in sports a lot, if not exclusively, and it happens in life a lot, if not exclusively. Because the thing that took me out about, you know, the post he sent out on the old school is that, hey, man, they clearly tried, even when the game was out of reach on Sunday, to get you the ball, to get you going. So to say you're not getting touches is incorrect and tone deaf. But the thing is that if they are going to pull this thing out of the fire, they're going to need Deebo to be Deebo. And I think that was part of the reason why they got him involved the way they did, like I said, especially when the game was out of reach. They need the Deebo. And Drapes, I'm not doing this because of who you bang with. But they need the Deebo tomorrow to be that Deebo that went into Philly.
Yeah.
And almost shut down y'all's operation.
Remember that, Drapes?
Y'all can dump on me, you know.
Y'all
living in the past. That's all right.
I'm not dumping on you. I'm just using the past to reference the very near future in tomorrow night. They need that Deebo that walked into the link wearing black Air Force Ones. And if you know, you know. And if I have to explain it to you, I'm going to let y'all do that on y'all's show. But you need black Air Force Ones, Deebo, to show up at Levi's tomorrow night and do the thing he did in Philly last year.
Nah, but Rod, let's be honest. From what I see, and I'm not just talking on the field. I'm talking 2 weeks ago when they got their butts handed to them by Buffalo. I saw a Deebo Samuel meet with the media afterwards and look shook, didn't have that bravado, didn't seem confident. It almost made me think like the Deebo we saw in Philly was kind of an act, a front runner, if you will. I'm just saying, I'm calling it the guy. Now that the squad is struggling, he's not getting the ball, he looks humbled. I don't know. You tell me. You didn't look in his eyes on his post-game press conference and see a dude that's a shell of himself?
Well, see, no, I'm not going to do that. But since you psychoanalyzing wide receivers, why don't you find out?
No. This ain't
your boy AJ Brown and why he beefing with Jalen Hurts. I mean, since you got it like that, since you got the Ruth West.
Hey, we don't do the whataboutism here. We don't do what about it.
You got that wide receiver couch out.
Here's the thing. I don't think he's not the dude he used to be. Clearly. I don't think he's a shell of himself. I think it's a combination of, hey man, Father Time is undefeated, and also when he gets the ball, when he's in the backfield, he gets the ball in the backfield. Everybody knows what's coming. I think it is. I think it's incumbent upon the head coach to find a different way to get the most out of a guy in Deebo Samuel, who you're going to need to get you out of this situation. Now, when it comes to what I see from Deebo in terms of the look in his eyes, I see someone who's frustrated with his role and who's frustrated with himself. Because they're in a situation now where if they got the best version of Deebo, they might be a tick better than, or maybe, a couple of games better than they are right now. So I really think this game coming up tomorrow, it's important for the obvious reasons, but I think it's important for Deebo going forward, not just this year, but next year, because I think he's going to be there next year. And me personally, as an observer, I want him around next year. But I think it's going to be important going forward here, this game, because you're going to have to get something out of Deebo if you're going to be successful. To me, it's just a fairly easy way to look at it.
Rod, I got to say, just observing what happened there, the way you turned that question around on Drapes, to me, that was like it's 3rd and 8. You're back to throw. There's no blitz protect, and the linebacker has you in his grasp, and you shake it off, and you run for 15 yards and pick up the first down, Drapes. First down.
Is that what Rod did? He picked up? Nah. He did whataboutism. That's come on now.
What I did is I had that one on the face sheet because as soon as I saw that video of Brandon Graham, who for whatever reason decided to go on his radio show to talk about the drama between his wide receiver and his quarterback, I'm like, let me go ahead and file that away.
Had that one in the back pocket ready. Yeah.
I was ready.
Rod, I got a couple injury questions, so I'll lump them together here if I may. Do you know whether Garendo has even a halfway decent chance of playing tomorrow? And when do you think we might see Dre Greenlaw?
You're going to see Dre Greenlaw tomorrow. To me, though, the thing, and that's a good thing, but to me, and this has been proven when it comes to guys sitting out for a while, whether it's due to injury or whether it's due to contracts, football shape is a real thing. It's not just something you talk about. And guys have to get in the football shape. We saw that with Bosa last year. We saw that with IU at the beginning of the year before he got hurt. We saw McCaffrey. It took him 3 games and 3 1/4 games before he was able to get into it. And he got hurt. Deebo a couple of years ago. Guys sit out a long time. Don't just come back and start playing football at the same level. So he's going to be out there. I would think maybe 45, 50% of the snaps. But I think to expect Dre Greenlaw, before the Achilles tendon injury, to be the same Dre Greenlaw you get today or tomorrow, I just don't see that happening. It's better that he's there. I think we kind of need to pump the brakes a little bit on the impact that he can make. To me, Garindo, it's a game time. They're not faking when they say if this were a Sunday situation where they play on Sunday, he would play. Problem is they're playing tomorrow night. So it looks to me like he's 75%. They say he's walking without a limp, but until he starts going through drills, you just at this point don't know.
We appreciate it, Rod. Thanks. Enjoy the game. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, fellas. I'll talk to you.
All right, man. All right,
well
Rod.
done. Well done. Well done.
See, that's
Rod
why
Brooks.
he's my guy, man. Because he can hold his own in the fire here.
Yeah.
It's,
We've got some more NBA trade